But on Legion, Azrael here, like always, and we got some final out of the 4-night crossover bonanza that this was DC epic goodness of fun times. The crossover is ending tonight with Legends, I was going to say DC Legends of Tomorrow. So let's just get into it, check it out, see what it's all about. Let's hope it's good. I have a little bit to say about the Arrow episode yesterday, so if you guys want to stick around after this and check that out or listen to that, maybe discuss some stuff, cool. If not, thanks for watching. All right, let's go.
I can't believe it. You guys escaped an alien spaceship. Keyword alien spaceship. I have questions.
They can wait.
Episode 7 is the climactic episode of our epic annual crossover between Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and now The Legends of Tomorrow. It was written by myself, Phil Klemmer, and Greg Berlanti.
I can't
directed
wait.
by Gregory Smith.
You're suggesting we travel to 1951, abduct a Dominator, and interrogate it to determine their intentions.
They kidnapped us. Seems fair.
It is a beyond epic conflagration
Time travel. I'm definitely in.
featuring all the superheroes we've established across all 4 shows.
Who are these people?
fighting
The
alien
government?
Invaders. It's quite simply, I think, the biggest hour of television we've ever produced.
This ship is automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh.
I hate them together so much. That's nice. No, thank you, Vixen. Them together is just like the worst, isn't it? I mean, it's awesome, but it's literally the worst in the show. Out of the show, it's fun to watch, obviously, but I mean, in the show, I would be like, oh, you fuckers, god damn it. But so let's just kind of recap of what happened on Arrow. The entire episode was the shared mind delusion dream world sequence. Now that was kind of cool. Like I said, I think yesterday, maybe the day before, Deathstroke was making an appearance. Somebody asked me, "Oh man, what do you think about Deathstroke coming back?" And I said, "Oh, it's gonna be kind of cool." And it kind of was lackluster. It wasn't even important because it wasn't the actual actor. It was just some guy in the costume with cronies. They had a fight scene with him, Damien Dark, Merlin, and then the Goon Squad, and it was cool. We got to see Oliver and Thea's parents again. Laurel came back, which was really nice. Somehow she's still like being relevant on this show, on these shows, really. After she's been killed off, which is crazy. Yeah, I forgot his name. What was his name? Merlin's son. It's not Paul. Why do I think Paul? Oh, why can't I say this? I don't know, but he's the one that died, obviously, in the building collapse. Like, he didn't make an appearance. Thea's ex-boyfriend that was the next Speedy, he didn't make the Red Arrow. He didn't make an appearance. So those two were gone. And I don't really know if there's anybody else to make it, but they were, like, key people. And this is like a wedding where Oliver was supposed to be, like, where his life would have been if he never went on the boat. Which means that his best friend would still be there, apparently, assuming. So it was weird. It was weird that the entire episode was the dream sequence. And when Oliver was leaving the dream world, you got to see this really bad and kind of gross CGI that put Merlin's son in there, the Speedy, the model guy. He was in there. We got to see, of course, the parents were there. They didn't look weird. Laura was there. And so it was like this moment, and it was like kind of cool, despite the weirdness of the CGI. But the fact that they didn't come back means that why didn't they just kind of take a quarter of the episode that was dedicated to the dream world? Because at the very end, they, of course, escape, and then it's over. They could have had a whole quarter of the show left and had them either leave and then go back and talk about stuff, or there could have been more stuff going on during the ship invasion. I don't know. The dream sequence was just kind of not important when not everybody made a cameo, which I was like, the whole point for like a crossover and a flashback and anything that could, anybody could be in, you want, all the cast to come back. Now, maybe it was just those people as actors that were like, I don't want to sorry, but F that show and F the people on it. That could have been definitely a factor. And then either way, doesn't matter. I think it was very unnecessary to have the dream world, because even Diggle's brother didn't come back. I don't understand what the point was. It was literally, I mean, I know it was Arrow, so we got to see a lot of Arrow and his parents, and Thea was very kind of not involved. I don't think I saw her, besides her and her mom, talk and hug. That was like really the only thing that happened. And then it showed her and Merlin talking, and that was kind of it. I know it's the Arrow's day to shine, and I guess because it was all a dream sequence, it was really just about his parents. But I've never, when it's a crossover, I don't like when they pick specific days for certain things. Like what we just saw, it's the Legends it's pretty much the Legends' turn to do something. When a real crossover happens, it's everybody. You can't see my hand, but everybody all in one. It's not the Flash and his little group with other people mixed in, and then Supergirl has her moment to kind of shine, which her episode actually wasn't even important for the crossover. Arrow, he has his whole thing, which was mostly just about him, with other people filling in the spot, which would be his team normally, which is Barry, it's always going to be about Flash and Arrow, Barry and Oliver. It's just because it's just them. They're the leaders of this thing right now. And Supergirl's just kind of the new person. It's not even a part of their universe, so she's not going to be a full thing. So it really kind of just meshed up the main guy with some of the other main people and put it in there. I don't like those crossovers. I want it to be just all the main people interacting with some of the extra cast. Flash's team, Caitlin, and I don't even think I've seen Caitlin half the time except for Supergirl's thing, or was it Flash's? It should have been Barry, Supergirl, and the Green Arrow. I flaked out. One or two members of the DC Legends. It could have been Sarah. It could have been Ray, because they all have a history together. At least Oliver does. Oliver has a history with both of them. Felicity has a relationship with both of them. Barry, I think, it's met them. And then each episode, you could have different variations of the DC Legends in there with that group, with other members of the team. Oliver's team, Barry's team, and then Supergirl having a prominent role in each one. And that's how I think it should have been mixed. I don't like that it was just defined by each day of the week for each show. I don't like that it was Barry's thing, Supergirl's thing, Green Arrow's thing, and then the DC thing. I don't like how they were very... It's a crossover, but it's segregated. And I'm not a fan of that kind of crossover. I like it to be full on. If you're going to do crossover, do it right. So Oliver's show was very much about him, but I wanted to see the guy that played Slade. I wanted the guy that played... I forgot his name, but the second, Red Arrow. I wanted to see Diggle's brother be a part of at least the. I know people are going, wait a minute, it's Green Arrow, it's Oliver's day of the week, it's his episode. And before I explain all that, I'm sure some people were thinking that. But Diggle's brother was a huge part of the ghost fight with Damien Dark. You don't think that it would have been so badass if Damien and Diggle's brother were both there, like almost as equals to fight, because all Diggle did was he fought cronies of Damien and Slade. That was it. He had no one to really fight. Sarah fought Merlin, and Speedy fought fucking who gives a shit. She wasn't doing anything important either. It was a crap ass fight scene. I felt like Arrow's day to shine was very cram packed with everything. It was like a bunch of good ideas, but they didn't have the time for all of that stuff. So they chopped all the ideas at the end and spliced them together and had a bunch of unfinished routes, like trails, that were just together. And then it was the end of it. So that's kind of how I felt. I wasn't really like a fan of the ending, kind of, or that middle part with the fight scene. It's still cool to see Oliver's parents. I was digging that part. I pretty much liked the whole episode as a very casual episode. I thought it was more of an Oliver episode that he could have had as a flashback or a hallucination. I don't think it was a crossover episode. It was very much an episode for the Arrow that could have been done any time of the week. It was not a crossover episode. So I was not really a fan of that. Well, that's all I have to say. Geez, it's a lot to say. I'm sorry if I just kind of rambled. As far as what I think about what's going to happen in DC Legends, I guess we'll save that conversation for the next reaction. It should be right after this one. So we'll discuss what I think is going to happen, and hopefully you'll tell me down below what you think is going to happen, or we can discuss what has happened. If you've seen these either after or I don't get back to you until the show is aired, we'll save the DC Legends of Tomorrow synopsis discussion for the next reaction coming up next. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Once again, my name is Azrael, and I'll see you on whatever video I'm doing next. Later, guys.